Hello YouTube, it's Kero here from Camp Zero in southeast Queensland, Australia. I thought I'd do a little video on installing, or what I encountered when I installed the operating system on this new machine that we've all been loving, and a little bit about the software. But anyhow, what happened was, you go here and you turn the machine on. Got your nice orange light. There's indicators up there that don't come on if there's no problems. Hit the power button, and I've got installed here a wireless keyboard and mouse, and you hit delete and you go into the BIOS, and here's the BIOS of the machine. It's a fantastic little BIOS. It's got right on the front page here all the simple stuff, all the easy stuff for people like me. Got the fan speeds of all the fans that are working here, and they're all listed there. They're all spinning at around 1000 revs per minute, so that's seems to be normal. And you've also got the pump here for the little cooling system, and that pump's spinning at 4245 revs. Pretty quick little sucker. And the BIOS is fantastic. It's got the motherboard temperature at the moment is 24 degrees. That's good. The CPU temperature at the moment is 30 degrees at idle, so that's good. So it's all there on your front page. You've also got a thing here with your boot priority, where you can move different devices around it, like it's showing up here, for example, my optical drive, which is what I was booting to for installing Windows. It's also got my 2 hard drives, and obviously the one that I've put, you put the one up the top that you want to boot to first. Fantastic. When you're installing Windows, you want to boot to your optical drive first, because that's got the Windows DVD on it. There's other ways of doing it. You can get a memory stick with your operating system on it and plug that in anywhere, and it will come up in this list, and you can boot to that straight away, so that's all good. There's also a, I don't know where I can find it, advanced mode, on a boot menu right here. Comes up with discs there, 3 discs, and you just click on whichever one you want to boot to, and it will boot to that disc straight away. It won't save anything, it won't do anything, it'll just cycle the machine, go straight to that disc, and you're in. So I put my Windows DVD into my optical drive, and basically through the whole Windows installation I couldn't get it to recognise a keyboard. Now you need a keyboard in your Windows install, because you need to firstly name your machine, and I wanted to name it something specific, and then also at the end of the install you've got your product key, or your authentication key, which is all numbers and shit. Like, it's in tiny little writing there, and I got my magnifying glass out and found out all the letters and numbers and writing and stuff, and I wrote it up really big across here so I'd know next time. So, but without a keyboard, what's the point? So I couldn't get my keyboard to work, and what I did was I went out into my storeroom and I pulled out PS2 keyboard, Microsoft, pulled out another PS2 keyboard, nice and clean, hardly used at all, from Logitech. Found another one with a USB connector from Logitech, and that didn't work. Pulled out another one, exactly the same actually, identical keyboard, a bit cleaner though, from Logitech. None of them worked, and of course my wireless keyboard did not work at all. So here I am going through the Windows install. I found that in the process I got really desperate, and I pulled out my box of mice, and started going through one of those at a time into the PS2 port in the back of the Strix motherboard here. So I went through, I was like, there's a fantastic mouse that came with my Republic of Gamers laptop. USB didn't work. Here's a Logitech. PS2 didn't work. Microsoft USB didn't work. Another Asus, same brand as my motherboard, maybe that'd work. USB didn't work. Generic PS2, nah. And I mean, what's the point? Because when you're doing a Windows installation, you need to be able to type in text. But you know, I was getting a bit desperate by this stage. I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, even went back to my old beige ones, a Microsoft mouse, they're all PS2. Generic, nothing worked. I managed to get one, I don't know where it is now. I managed to get one mouse to work, but that's no good to me because I need to type in text to do the install. So like I went in and I was able to, when it says tell us the name of your computer, I was managed to highlight and copy and paste the word PC. So I had a computer called PC, typed it in 3 times, pasted it in 3 times. So PC was going to be the name of my computer. However, I was getting desperate and my brain was exploding because obviously you can't do a Windows install with a mouse. You can do it with a keyboard, you can't do it with a mouse. So what I did then, I went through, racking my brains, what to do. So I ended up taking the hard drive with the freshly installed operating system, but without the product key, and I pulled it out of here and I put it into my office machine, and to see if it'd work for a start, and thought maybe I could get it in and type in the key and then take it out and put it back. And so I put it in there. Doesn't work because what Windows install does is it types in or records identifiers of your motherboard and your machine and so forth. So you have to have it corresponding. So it didn't even boot up. It just went maybe 15 seconds into the boot up, and then it just went beep and rebooted the whole machine, went back through the post and everything, blah blah blah, got back to the same point, beep, round and round. So it was round and round. So that didn't work. So what I did was I put my Windows DVD into that optical drive, put a fresh install of Windows onto the disk and the hard drive, and did that, took the hard drive out, put it into this machine, and exactly the same thing. It'd get 10-15 seconds into the boot and it'd go beep, reboot. So that wasn't going to work. and I was kind of beside myself by this stage. Didn't really know what to do, had to think about it. Went over and grabbed myself a beer, lovely Tui's Extra Dry, TED, Teddy's, and sat down and sucked on that. And so at the very last, which is always the one that works, because if it's not the last, then it doesn't work. But anyhow, I went over to my workshop and found this. Now this is a keyboard from that comes with a computer system from Philips. It's a Philips keyboard, and this was supplied with a machine that I worked on in 1996. I started work at a computer rental company. It was actually an appliance rental company. They rented fridges and freezers and washing machines and all that sort of stuff, but they branched out into computers, and this was the only computer that they had on in stock and available. And it was also the first time I had ever seen a PS2 port for a computer or mouse, and the computer and the mouse both had PS2 slot connectors for them. Everything before then was those big fat keyboard things that plugged in, big round fat keyboard connectors. This is the first time I'd seen one of these, and we rented out quite a few of these, and you know, over time, probably over the next 18 months, there was two guys, myself and a fella, and we grew the business up to 6,000 accounts. They weren't 6,000 computer accounts. It might have been somebody rented a printer or a fax machine or a scanner, and I don't know how many computer accounts there were exactly, but there's quite a few. And we worked out a system and put procedures in place to be able to deal with turning these machines over and over and over all the time. The machine would come back in, we'd fix it, it'd go back out. But what we found in the end was that it was easier, and people were prepared to accept that we just put a fresh operating system on it and send it out again. Because people were dealing with all sorts of software and stuff. You never know what had caused problems, and we never even got into that. We just said, look, bring your machine in or we'll pick it up, put a fresh operating system, send it out to you, and you can go again. And that was all free, like that was a part of the deal. So this machine was the first one we ever used, ever tried, and would you know, I plugged it in to the PS2 port on the motherboard here, the Strix Z270 something gaming motherboard, and I had text all the way through the Windows install. This literally saved my ass, okay? So therefore I love it to death, and I'll be keeping this as my last resort, first resort actually, go-to keyboard when it comes to installing these machines. So I got the product code entered in, booted up, got into Windows, still didn't have any use of my thing here, whatever this is, a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse. So I did the whole thing. Once I got into Windows, I navigated around my tab and that and that and all that. If you know how to do it, it's easy. And all I did was I navigated, I took the Windows DVD out, I put in the DVD that goes with the motherboard, okay, and using my keyboard, I navigated my way around to the optical drive, opened the optical drive, found the USB drivers on the DVD, hit enter, started installing finished installing my DVD, my USB drivers, and rebooted, and then when I came back again, all my wireless and everything worked perfectly. So that's a little bit of story about what I've just been through with this machine. I do not know what I would have done without this old chugger. This old keyboard from 1996, and every other keyboard I showed you and every other mouse I've used subsequently over the years in different systems. They sort of work, but occasionally there's a key here and there that doesn't work. All of this works perfectly. 20 years old. Literally saved my bacon today. The beige keyboard, the old beige one. So come on. So what a lifesaver. And then once I had my mouse and keyboard functioning, then I went back into the DVD for the motherboard, pressed install on the root of it, and it's got a list of all the devices that are available on the motherboard, on the DVD, and they've all got a tick beside them, and the tick denotes that it's not already installed on this machine. Any ones that were blank is the ones that were already installed. So it just installed the ones it needed to install, which was everything. The only one that it didn't need to install was the USB drivers, which I'd already installed using my wit and personality and charm and wisdom, and the fact that I'm so fucking good and everything's fantastic in Kero world. There's no doubt about that. I'm absolutely awesome. So I put every other one in, and what you do here, if you click on the drive that you want to boot to, bang, it just goes straight to that drive. And when Windows comes up, I'll show you the device manager to prove that everything's installed and working properly. You can take my word for it, but I like to show you just to rub it in. So here we are, up comes Windows. Welcome, I feel welcome. And mind you, this is Windows 7, so it's not necessarily going to be the latest devices and everything for this motherboard, and it's good that it does support Windows 7 all the way through. Look up the motherboard, find out what it is. Actually, I might be able to do it here. It's an Intel Core i7 oh no, that's the CPU. Where's the motherboard? Of course, we've got the ROG Strix Z270H gaming 1151 motherboard. The drivers on the DVD installation discs that come with it do work on Windows 7, and like we just go in here. Actually, what I always do whenever I see that, I just go, okay, let's fix it. What you got is here, and what I always do first up, because I don't like this, it's good, it shows things, but you go to personalise, you go to desktop background, and you go down to solid colours, you go to black, save changes, so now you're black. Alright, now the other thing I do is I go down to my taskbar here and right click and go to properties, and what you do is you go into start menu and customize, and next to control panel you've got display as a menu. You don't want to display it as a link because it brings up pages and pages and pages of shit. Crap, it's horrible, it's awful, I hate it. But display as a menu, Go there, apply, go OK. Now when you go up to your control panel here, it displays as a menu, and that's much better. Otherwise you just have to go through page after page. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It really is bullshit. Oh, my dog. So I go up to device manager there. This is my device manager, and I'm going to zoom you in because I want you to see that every device is working perfectly. How's that? Right there. No problems. No asterisks, no flags, nothing. Everything's working perfectly. So let's come back out. Because this is where I'm going to say goodbye. For this little bit, especially, I'm just going to say goodbye. And thanks for your time, thanks for your company. Operating system install, pain in the ass. Software installs, perfect. You don't even have to touch anything. The DVD full of drivers for the Strix motherboard, which is a motherboard. ROG Strix Z270H. You'd think I'd remember that by now. It all works great, it's all fantastic, it's brilliant, it's awesome. And the whole build has been awesome. I haven't had a single problem with any component, and it's all come together the way it should. It's actually easier than it used to be, and I'm really happy with it all. Hey, I'm really happy. So that's it as far as installing the operating system and hardware, software. And we'll just say goodbye. I won't be gone for long. I'll be back on the next video, which won't be very far away, and we'll probably go in a completely different direction next video. I might get out in the garden and show you some plants, or do something like that. I don't know, I might get down the river and film a little bit, who knows. But as far as this computer, hardware and operating system complete, all done, working perfectly, love it. YouTube, mate. This is Kero here. My name is Kero. I am Captain Zero from Camp Zero, which is the surrounds that we live in here. Inside Plains Chapel here, beautiful room. And I'll say goodbye now. Thank you for your time. We're living in the gorgeous southeast Queensland, Australia. And good place to be, good place to hang out, even despite everything that's happening in the world. The old SEQ's not a bad place to hang out. Nothing's really affected us too much, except for the weather. The weather affects us, but apart from that, it's all good. The dog's name is Bono, the cat's name is Jaco, the black cat's name is Rio. We'll say goodbye now. Thanks for your time. See you later, YouTube. Boy, Bono. That's funny, you're going to have to come down there. Getcha? Hey? You've seen him the whole series of videos. Sit. And It's important that you get a good look at him. This is Bono. Get on. My kitty. Jaco. Jaco. Baby cat. It's all good. Alright, I'll say goodbye. Nice to talk to you. Bye.